And there we are. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Monday. It is June 27th. We are at the end of the second quarter. Good morning. As you can see, I've made it back to Nashville safely. I am in the friendly and safe confines of Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And we've done this a bunch. Summertime has sort of gotten us off our pace, gotten us off track a little bit. But y'all know how this works. If you're here, tell me good morning. Good morning, Exit Realty Lake Country Nation. We're posting this on YouTube as well. So if y'all have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, it's Exit Realty Lake Country. Go ahead and subscribe to that as well. And I'm looking forward to a good Monday. It's a golf themed Monday. Christy and a bunch of the crew in Georgia are headed to, I think, Athens Country Club for the ESP tournament. Good morning, Alex Martin. They're headed to, I think it's Athens Country Club, and it's a tournament that we're involved in and she wanted to be a part of. So we're gonna get on a hole out there. I know Anthony's going. I think Winston's going. So if y'all can make it to the Athens Country Club and post up on that hole this morning, you'll meet some great people. I'm telling y'all, there are some influential people that play in these golf tournaments. Good morning, Michelle. I, in fact, am going to play in a golf tournament this morning as well, but in Tennessee, I will be playing in I think it's the Hendersonville Chamber of Commerce golf tournament. So it's just a golf themed day, y'all. A scorpion has bit my ankle. I'm not joking, man. Some kind of damn Georgia bug bit me over the weekend on my ankle, and it itches so bad. I have no idea what bit me, but it is giving me fits this morning. So if you see me, if you hear a grasshopper sound, that's me rubbing my ankles together. So how's everybody? Everybody hope had a great weekend. I saw Alex and her family were on the lake. Michelle got all dolled up and went to a wedding. So that was. Hope y'all had a fantastic weekend. And what else did everybody do? Go ahead and put in the comments if you're here. Put in the comments and tell me what you did this weekend. And then I want to talk a little bit about some stuff this morning. We'll keep y'all long. I think since Christy's not here, I probably won't get interrupted that much. So we'll probably be really succinct and we can just get this thing done and get on about our Mondays. I'm teasing, baby. When you go back and watch this later, don't be mad at me. So what else did y'all have going this weekend? Lynn Grizzle, are you here? We have 4, so we've got 2 here. We got Michelle and Alex. No, everybody's here. It says we got 4 watching, so tell me good morning if you're here. Y'all know how that works. So a couple of things as we get rolling toward July. I mean, we're rocking into the third quarter of this year, y'all. It's crazy. There's a saying, and I don't know if I remember exactly how it goes. I only had like 3 sips of coffee, but good morning, Miss Lynn. Days go by slow, but years go by fast. Is that how it goes? Is that how that saying goes? Y'all, I promise you, it's going to be Christmas party time like tomorrow. And I hate to say that, but it seems like every single year that we've done this and we start planning for, it just seems like stuff gets on us like this. I mean, like just on top of us. I mean, fall, I was telling Jagger the other day, we're in the middle of summer, so his summer schedule is a little different than his fall schedule because hockey's not full bore. I mean, it's becoming year round, but it's easy in the summer. He's only got it 2 days a week. In the fall, in about 5 weeks, I told him this the other day. I said, "Man, practice starts in like 5 or 6 weeks. You crank it back up with this new team, and you're in it every single day." And now we're traveling, and now we got our first tournaments here, and now we're doing this other stuff. And so y'all pay attention. It's kind of what I talked about on Wednesday for those of you that were at the meeting, and going back to Tammy Bennell's 6-week action plan. So Alex and Michelle, are y'all implementing that? Y'all are at the meeting. Are y'all implementing little pieces of that 6-week action plan? Good morning, Miss Brenda. So we talked about the 6-week action plan. Michelle and Alex were at the meeting on Wednesday. Brenda was at the meeting. Good morning, Brenda. Hey, Mags. It is almost baby month. Halston's almost here. the 6-week action plan is designed to refocus your attention, to sort of refocus your priorities, to sort of refocus and redirect your actions because a lot of us and some of you don't. I'll speak for me. Get very undisciplined, and it's funny how this works. I don't know, and I know it's not. I know this is not how it was designed, but most of us don't go to school anymore. Maggie does, but most of us don't. So when summer break comes, right, we still have this feeling that we're 7 or 8 years old, and when school gets out, we're like, yee we got nothing to do now. But it's not. As adults, we don't have a yee. You know, our kids are home now. Now our responsibility sort of increases. Um, Good morning, Mr. Bailey. How are you, sir? Okay. So Michelle's blocking her time to work on her 6 week action plan. Fantastic. So we don't have a summer vacation. We get to go on a summer vacation, but most of us don't get a summer break. Most of us shouldn't take that time to sleep till. And y'all, I'm sitting here. I'll go back and watch this later. I'm watching myself now. I'm as guilty of it as anybody because I'm not getting up early. I'm not doing the things that I do in the fall. You know, I don't have to get up and take Jagger to school at 5 in the morning. So that's helping me, that's allowing me an excuse to not get up and get going. And truly, that's what we do when we use this summer, this 7-year-old emotion, this 8-year-old emotion, 9-year-old emotion. When summer break hits, we're like, yes, we're kind of in that same spot. And I said it the other day, I said to somebody, I'm like, you don't get a summer break. You're an adult. That's not the way adulting works. You don't get to have summers off. For most of us, summers are harder. Good morning, Brookie. Um, so, so the 6-week action plan that I mentioned on Wednesday were some things that you can do, and I think the most important thing of that is it's the time blocking. Michelle's going to time block some time this week to get that way to get some of this stuff done. But one of the things I want you all to work on, and Tammy Bennell swears by this. I'm telling y'all, and for somebody who's been in the real estate business as long as Tammy has been in the real estate business, for somebody who gets on big stages and talks with, like, she's on stages talking with other CEOs of Remax, of Coldwell Bankers, of Keller Williamses, of all these other companies. Tammy's that same C-level executive who's a leader in this industry. And if Tammy Bennell says you ought to find 12 people that you can count on who work around the real estate business to refer you business and you refer them business, she calls it her dirty dozen. If Tammy Bennell insists that you have a dirty dozen, I'm going to insist that we all have a dirty dozen. That we all have 12 to 15 people who work around the real estate business who we are taking to lunch on a monthly basis, who we are building a relationship with on a weekly basis, who we are referring business to, who they then in turn refer business to us. Because the 68% of all listings, and we want to be a listing company. I want to dominate listings. Christy was just goofing around last night. I was on the way to the airport, and she's sitting over there, and she's just looking through the Lake Oconee market and looking at some of the houses that have sold in the Lake Oconee market here recently. Y'all, we are not getting our toes far enough in that sand. We are not taking advantage of that market like we should. You guys who work that late market, y'all need to be hammering that late market. Y'all need to have, and I know you can make an excuse and say, we're not from there. There are people that have been there longer than we have been. You can make all the excuses. It's summertime. I'm this or I'm that, or I don't know these people. It's time to stop. I watched a video this morning, and the thing that I took away from the video is Steve Harvey says, success doesn't come when you're comfortable. Success doesn't come when you're comfortable. Success comes in discomfort. Success comes when it's not comfortable. I talk about this all the time. Growth is a result of discomfort. Growth is a result of pain. I don't know why God designed it that way. I don't know why God designed it that way. Maggie, Halston's coming in a month. And that process, Y'all, all you women on here, me and Bailey have no idea what this is. I've watched it happen 5 times, but I've never experienced. That's not a comfortable process to 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 squirt out another human being. It's not comfortable. It's a really uncomfortable process to become a mom. That's a really, really uncomfortable process physically and mentally. Growth always comes from pain. Success is never in comfort. So when Christy was looking at these houses yesterday, y'all, there is a house in Lake Oconee. Y'all listen to these numbers. In 2019, the people bought the lot for I think it was 1.8 million. 2019. In 2021, they sold that same lot with a house on it now. They sold that house for $3.9 million. 2 years later, 2021. It just got sold again in April of this year for almost $6 million. So from 2019 to 2022, that property went from 1.9 million to $6 million. Have y'all ever done the math on a $6 million commission? Because I haven't. Because I've never sold a house. I mean, 2 million is the biggest I've ever done. So to think that in our market, in a market we work in, and it's here in Nashville, I can go to Brentwood and find $6 million houses. But I don't want to be a listing agent anymore. I want to help you guys find those listings. I want your faces on those properties. I want Exit Realty Lake Country to represent those kinds of properties. Y'all, Exit Southeast is working on something, and I can't talk about it a lot here, but they're working on something that's going to create for us. I don't want to say an image. What's another word for an image? It's going to shine a different light on Exit Realty Lake Country. How about that? It's going to shine a different light on Exit Realty Lake Country. I mentioned it Wednesday at the meeting. I'm not going to say on this because there's too many other people that are going to watch this, but this is why you got to come to meetings. It's going to shine a different light on Exit Realty Lake Country. It's going to shine a light on our connection between the Music City and the Lake Country. You've got to learn how to be uncomfortable before you're going to be able to dive into that market and overtake some of these other agents who've established themselves. And I can name 3 or 4 in the Lake Country who've established themselves. One has established herself because her husband was a builder. Another one established herself because she worked at a particular property for a long time, and then there were some shenanigans that happened, and I didn't know this until recently. But there's a lot of things. There are a lot of houses in that Lake Country market, in that Lake Oconee, Lake Sinclair market, that we're not getting, that you're not getting, because you don't have enough people with your business card in their pocket. That's the point of the Dirty Dozen. That's the point of having 12 people who can say, that's the person Michelle Tilson's the person you need to use. Alex Martin's the person you need to use. Brooke Watkins is the person you need to use. And you guys, Brooke, Michelle, every one of you need to figure out in your head that you're good enough to go represent a $6 million property, that you are badass enough to go represent a $6 million property, that you are the one who can make that happen. And guess what? You are. Every one of you on this call, there isn't an agent in this company who could not represent a $6 million property with class, with professionalism, with excellence, and do everything needs to be done to make sure that $6 million property gets to the closing table. There's not an agent in this company who doesn't have the physical ability to do that. There are a lot of agents in this company who don't have the mental ability to do that. Because I'm telling you, as soon as you hear $6 million, you're like, "Woo, boy, that's a big one." I did it. Heck, I've done some big houses. And when I think about a $6 million property, I'm like, man, what does it take to sell a $6 million property? Alex has got one right now. And it's a big house, a big property with a big price tag, and she's kind of fighting it. It's a family member, but it's not going as fast as they like as they want it to go, and so we're having to do some marketing, do some things that we're not doing. And guess what? I hate to say this, and maybe it's not true. So maybe I won't say it. So there's something coming from exit. That's in my head and my heart, so I gotta get that out. So I'll do that later. Here's my point. Tammy Bennell says you need 12 people working on your behalf in the market every day with your business card in their pocket that are your advocate, that are your biggest supporter, and they are your biggest fans. 68% of all listings are referred. That means there's only 32% available for you to go out, knock on the door, send them a card, write a handwritten note, send them a letter, do some marketing on Facebook if they really, really like. They see you on TikTok and have a conversation with you. There's only 32% of those. So nearly 7 out of 10 listings come from somebody saying, Bailey Leonhardt is your guy. 7 out of 10 listings come from Lynn Grizzles who you ought to use. 7 out of 10 listings come from people who know you already and they infer their trust in you to the other person. That's what a referral is. Referral is nothing more than inferred trust. That's all it is. So today, Michelle, this week, Michelle, when you start working on your 6-week action plan, identifying that dirty dozen, every one of you need to have in your phone right now. Y'all need to have 12 lines in your note app, in Evernote, on your Apple phone, and your notes, and label it dirty dozen. And there need to be 12 people in there, 12 number, 1 through 12, and you need to start inserting names in that. And you need to start making some phone calls. You need to start inviting somebody to lunch. You need to take somebody to a cup of coffee. Show up on a job site. Do something, but build your dirty dozen. This business isn't hard. It's not hard. I take that back. It's not difficult. It is hard. It is hard to break a big rock and to make small rocks. That is hard work. It is sometimes hard work to get out of your comfort zone, to go be uncomfortable, to grow. That's tough. Christy said it to me yesterday. Coach Burt says it to you all the time. What is the enemy of progress? Who can remember? Who remembers what Coach Burt says? What's the enemy of progress? Type in the comments. Anyone? Bueller, come on. What's the enemy of progress? Y'all think. What is the enemy of progress? Give you a hint. The word starts with a C. Enemy of progress. Word starts with a C. Complacency. Very good. Thank you, Bailey. Complacency is the enemy of progress. How many of you wake up how many of you woke up this morning feeling complacent? Feeling this is okay. Feeling I like this. Feeling how many of you woke up that way? Because I promise you, most days over the last couple, 2 or 3 months, I wake up feeling pretty doggone complacent. Pretty doggone comfortable, Brooke, is another word for complacency. You're just comfortable. You like the way your shoes fit. You like the way the bed feels. You like the amount of money in the bank. You like your real estate business the way it is. You're just comfortable. But then here's what happens. I drive down the road and I see a sign in somebody else's sign in a front yard of a house that I want to list. And guess what my comfort level does? Which leads me to believe that being complacent and being comfortable isn't for me. Because if that bothers me, if me driving by and seeing someone else getting a listing that I want, if I drive by and see something that someone else, and this is not envy. God gives this to you as an indication that you're not done yet. Now, wanting something someone else has, envious, okay? And there's something to that because more times than not, envy, that word, Bailey says today's just stressed. Appraisal comes back in Knoxville, inspection back on another, 3 showings, and no new offers on my Murfreesboro listing. You just listed your Murfreesboro house. Y'all, I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna table expectations. I'm gonna say right here. Envy, okay, wanting someone else wanting something someone else has, but not wanting to work for it, I think is the sinful piece of that. I think wanting what someone else has, and I'm no theologian, and I haven't done the etymology on the word envy, but I would venture a guess because where's the line? God gives you the desires of your heart, okay? And you see things other most of us only see things other people already own. Okay. If I want a jet airplane, the picture on my vision board of the private jet belongs to somebody else. It's not just sitting there not belonging to anybody, right? So in theory, I'm envious of that possession. Now, strict Bible religion says you shouldn't envy. Difference is I don't want it for nothing. I want to put the work in, put the time in, give the effort, do the damn thing, embrace the suck, be uncomfortable to try to get that, to want that, to have that, to be in that, to fly in that, to make my life easier on me and my family. That's why I do what I do. So here's what I'm going to tell you. When you drive by, when you see, when something else comes in your field of vision and it stirs an emotion in your heart, but your complacency has kept you from having it, your comfort has kept you from having it, I think that's a bigger sin because you're not using the gifts you were given to do the things you're supposed to do. God has made each of us so super special. He's made each of us, given us this burning thing. That's why when you look at it, and you see it or you think about it or you put it on a vision board or you envision it, it feels like it's yours because that is something God gave you, the creator gave you, endowed that in you from the beginning of time. I promise you, I have no desire to speak Chinese. None. Not even a little bit. I don't have any desire to speak Chinese. There are tons of folks who are English speaking who would love to speak Chinese. And they work at it. They go buy computer programs, they go do things, they study in the mornings because they want to go speak Chinese. Hell, Maggie's got like 15 degrees. I want one master's degree just to say I did it, but Maggie's working on her like third or special doctorate and all. I mean, but that's Maggie's desire. I don't wake up any day. I'm telling you, me wanting a master's degree is falling down by the wayside so much. But I used to want one really, really bad. I think I still may do it at some point. But again, Maggie's desire and my desire for the same attainment, the same goal, the same level are completely different. I don't wake up every day structuring my day to think about how I'm going to attain a master's degree. Maggie does. I want to be really, really good at golf again. And I'm starting to put a lot of work into being good at golf again. Maggie doesn't. Most of you on here don't give two craps about playing golf, but I do. And before I go to bed at night, I go upstairs and hit like 20 putts. I got a little putting mat and I go hit 20 putts. Y'all think I'm an idiot. But again, the desires of my heart. One of my goals in life on my bucket list is to qualify for a US Open. That's a big, huge deal. That's a big, huge accomplishment. Tens of thousands of golfers try to do this every single year. That's something that's on my bucket list. I don't think I've ever told anybody that. Maybe one person. I just told all y'all. That's a desire of my heart. Okay. Put in me an accomplishment, something I want to do. Okay. But you got to break big rocks into small rocks. Okay. To be able to use those to build what you got to build. Big rocks don't fit in every place. Little rocks. If I can make a big rock into sand, I can use that sand to make a really good foundation to start setting something on. but it takes a lot of work to break a big rock in the sand. It takes a lot of work to take that desire from your heart and to pound it out and to do the things every single day, to learn how to be uncomfortable, to put the sweat, the blood, and the tears. Because Bailey, that is a stressful day. But guess what? That's real estate. Bailey says I'm stressed because the appraisal comes back in Knoxville, inspection on another. He's got 3 showings on another, and now he's worried about not getting an offer on a Murfreesboro house. So he's got 4 different transactions going on at the same time, and it's stressful. Raise your hand if you would be stressed if you had that many transactions going on. 0. Okay. So Bailey, I'm gonna tell you, embrace the suck, bruh. It's not stressful. It just is what it is. It's what you got to do. This is part of being a professional. This is part of being a badass real estate agent. You got to learn how to do 4 things at once, 5 things at once. You got to learn how to juggle all these balls, spin these plates. That's part of being a badass real estate agent. And when that 4 becomes 16, and that 16 becomes 30, then you hire an assistant to come help you. And now when you're making 200, 500, $700,000 a year and you hire an assistant, it's not stressful anymore. That's just what I do. I'm just a badass. Bring it. I want it. Bring the challenge, bring the stress. I embrace it because the more you resist it, guess what happens to things you resist? They will go away. They will go away. I promise you. So don't be stressed, Bailey. Just embrace it. This is that time to embrace the suck. You just embrace it. You embrace the busy. You embrace hey, thank the Lord you've got 4 deals that you're working on right now. Because I can remember a time in your life less than a year ago when Bailey, you didn't have 4 deals going on. And you were wondering if you should go work at a hotel. And if you were wondering if you should go back and do something else because you weren't sure this was a business for you. Okay? Embrace the suck, brother. We love you. We're here for you. Let's hope we can help. But here's what I'm going to tell everybody else and Bailey with this. You have desires in your heart that have effort attached to them. You have desires in your heart that God gave you from the beginning of creation. When he designed you before you were born, he knew the hairs on your head. He knew the desires that he was going to put in your heart. He knew the impact he was going to make on the lives around you. He knew what you were going to do. And he formulated your path to bring you into the path of 2 people, Aaron and Christy Dwyer, who believe the way we believe, who believe in the power of human potential. We came to an Exit Realty late. If we go back and start putting all these pieces together, me going to Exit, Christy coming to Exit, I got chills right now thinking about this because I think this is so important right now. If I think about all the weaves, y'all know my analogy with the screen door. If I think about all the wires in that screen door that have all come together to create this perspective that I can look through now, me coming to Exit from being a police officer, from chasing my tail, from being divorced twice, from being broke as hell, from not having a pot to piss in, to rebuilding, getting back into real estate, creating a great business, reestablishing my foundation, my footing, my battery's gonna die, so we're gonna go fast. Reestablishing a foundation to meet Christy, to end up at Exit, to meet Christy, to then have Exit Realty Lake Country, to then be in this market, to have you guys come be a part of this. Y'all, like attracts like. You guys are here for a reason. Our paths have intersected because we, for some reason and somehow, in all of our inconsistency and all of our undisciplinedness and in all of Christy being late and me being scattered and us not getting stuff done and us not being this or us not being that, and Milledgeville office not being finished, and Greensboro office sometimes having bugs on the floor, and us not doing all the things that my C personality would love to have, which is everything just being perfect. Okay. In all of that, you guys have come to a place, and I truly believe on purpose, for your lives to be different. And when I look at the names on this list, Michelle, Maggie, Alex, Brooke, Bailey's on the way. Brenda, it's happening for you too. When I look at the names on this list and the ages in this company, and I see the ones who've been here for longer than a year and a half, they're going there too. Their lives are different. They're different people. They have done and achieved and grown, and now they are becoming leaders and changing the world around them because that's what God designed them to do. And you happen to come into our path, you happen to come into our space, you happen to get invited by somebody to come hear Aaron and Christy, or to come to Exit Realty Lake Country, or to come give this a shot. Come have a look at what's going on over here in this little small company over here in the corner. And we just do it different. And the people that are in our company, they grow. Y'all, and I don't know to be I don't know whether to be upset. I don't know whether to be frustrated. I don't know whether to be happy. I'm really honestly not sure how to be. But one of the things that we believe we do is we help people uncover the hidden pieces of who they are. One thing I think Christy and I we believe that we do is help people develop confidence in who they really truly are. We help pull away some of the layers of ego and some of the things that people have told them and some other things, create for them a platform for them to go out and be who they are. I really believe we do that. And some people take that and run to another company. Some people take what we do, take that growth, take those steps, take that confidence, and then they go run and join another company. And then I watch these people when they go join this other company. They're confident. They're doing the things we tell them to do. Before us, they weren't doing it. You never saw it, right? They weren't there doing it. They didn't know how to do it. They come into with us. We teach them. We give a foundation. We sort of breathe life into them and who they are. Then they take off and go do it. So I know I shouldn't be upset about that, but sometimes it bothers me a little bit. But there's sometimes no way to quantify. Sometimes there's no way to quantify how much you're growing. Sometimes there's really no way to know how much progress you're truly making. And the image just came in my mind. Y'all know I hate running. I hate running with an undying passion. And as much as I need to go run, I hate running. And I've been a runner. I've run. I've had to run. They made me run. I'll take that back. I was never a runner. They made me run. And and I'll never forget this. I was training for the academy, Big Southern Police Academy, and I went out running one day. And I've been running small. I've been running mile, 2 mile, 3 mile. And I went out and ran one day and just kept running. It's like Forrest Gump. I just kept running. I just kept running. And ended up running close to 10 miles that day. When I got home and was done, and I looked at how far I ran, I actually amazed myself because at some point I'd stopped thinking about it. At some point, I sort of embraced this is what it was. And runners talk about this all the time. You get that runner's high, and you finally get to a spot, and you just keep on going, and it doesn't really hurt anymore. And I kind of hit that spot. But the point for me, the hardest part of running is the first mile, probably the first 500 yards, because as soon as I start, I am bitching the whole time. When I start running, I'm bitching the entire time. Why am I doing this? Oh my God, this sucks. My back hurts. My feet hurts. I can't breathe. I'm going to die. This is stupid. Just go back home. It's all up here. Every bit of that's up here. And then if I can get to a mile, it starts to ease up a little bit. Okay. Good morning, Carrie. There you are. Um, I get it. I get it. But I'm telling you, I got to a place in that run that day where I wasn't thinking anymore. I was just doing. And I just kept doing And I just kept doing, and I just kept doing. And when I got back to the end and I looked back at what I'd done, I had amazed myself. There's no way to quantify if this 6-week action plan is going to work in the immediate term. There's no way to know if what you're doing right now is going to work. Can't tell you. I can tell you if Tammy Bunnell says it's going to work, if Tammy Bunnell tells you to do it, she's been in the real estate business long enough. She's been on enough stages. She's given enough speeches. She knows enough about this business that that's a pretty good plan. But I can't promise you that you can push a button and if you do it for 2 weeks, ding, the microwave goes off and you're getting business. Can't promise you that. Here's what I can promise you it's going to suck in the beginning. And you're going to think, why am I calling these people? Why am I talking to these people? I don't know what to say. I'm an idiot. They're not going to help me. You're going to do that. You're going to go through that first mile, that first 500 or 600 yards, bitching the entire time. You're going to. But I'm telling you this right now. If you keep doing it, if you keep going, if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're going to get to the point where it's not going to hurt anymore. You're going to get to the point where it's going to feel pretty good, where it's going to be okay. Brooke says she runs, it's her thinking time. It's my thinking time too. I'm thinking I'm an idiot. I'm thinking, why the hell are you doing this, you big fat, you're 50, stop running. I'm thinking too, Brooke, but I'm probably not thinking. I don't, I don't, I could call it my thinking time, but I'm not sure my thinking time and your thinking time are in the same connotation. But let me, I don't want to digress too far. It's going to suck. You're going to question yourself. You're going to question your ability. You're going to question what you have to offer. You're going to question if this is really going to work. You're going to do all those things. Promise. But at some point, you're going to stop questioning and you're just going to go keep doing it. And you're just going to keep doing it. And you're just going to keep doing it. And then at some point, before you know it, you're going to look back. And at the end of the year, you're going to look back and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I did 25 transactions this year. Oh my gosh, I did 35 transactions this year. You're going to look back and you're going to say, good, how did I do 42 transactions? And you're going to look at your transactions and you're going to see that 18 or 19 of those came from your dirty dozen. You're going to see that 25 or 26 of those came from referrals from your dirty dozen. At some point, it's going to stop feeling like work. And at some point, it's going to go on autopilot. And at some point, it's going to start blowing your business out of the water. But you got to start breaking big rocks. You got to start hammering rocks. You got to start knocking down those rocks and making it sand. You got to make those big rocks usable. You got to do what Michelle did, and you got to set the time aside to start putting those pieces in place. It's going to be Christmas before you know it. And you're going to look back at the end of this year and you're going to be happy, you're going to be sad, disappointed, complacent, elated. You're going to have some emotion at the end of this because the end of the year is nothing more than your time to reflect on what you did or didn't do. The end of the year is nothing more than a reflection on your ability to do what you said you're going to do. It's going to be a time for you to reflect on, did I follow my commitments? Did I commit to myself and do the things that I said I was going to do this year? That's all the end of the year is for. And in the beginning of the year, it's a refocus, it's a restart, and we're going to try again. I want every 12 months for every one of you to be doing this. I don't want it to be this. I don't want it to be this. Commit to yourself. You're going to break the big rocks and you're going to pound those big rocks into sand. Commit to yourself. You're going to find the dirty dozen. Commit to yourself. You're going to time block your time. Commit to yourself. You're going to do the things that you don't want to do because you know if you do them enough, it's going to turn into gold. There is gold and then there hills. There is gold in your markets. There are 4